Welcome back to the friendly confines of Phil Welch Stadium here in beautiful St. Joseph, Missouri, home of the St. Joseph Mustangs. Today we have Mink League action between the Nevada Griffins and the St. Joseph Mustangs. Ty Mundo alongside Charlie Marshall. And Charlie, what are we looking at today?
Well, we're going to see two teams that are on the complete opposite side of the spectrum in terms of how their season's gone so far today. When you look at a team like the Nevada Griffins, it's been a huge disappointing in terms of their start. They're 3-9 on the year. They've had a lot of mishaps at the beginning of this Mink League season. Where for the Mustangs, they're 12-2. You know, they've had a much hotter start to the season. Although the Griffins, they're coming off a win, and the Mustangs, they're coming off a loss. So who knows what's going to happen tonight? Should be, a good one.
Yeah, the Mustangs fell to the Carroll Merchants 6-5 after falling to them 9-6 the previous day in Carroll. So a really unique situation for the Mustangs on a losing streak after winning their first 12 of the season. Nevada Griffins, on the other hand, are 3-9 going into this game, so they are at the bottom of the Mink League and have really not looked great this entire season. But it's baseball. Anything can happen. The starting pitching matchup is going to be Gage Carson for Nevada. I'm going to get that wrong the whole day. Nevada Griffins. And for the Mustangs, it's going to be Sam Pitts. Pitts is making his first start. He's appeared 5 times out of the bullpen. 9 innings pitched, only 1 walk, 11 Ks, and is rocking a 2 ERA. So he is going to be someone to look out for. Who else in the Mustangs lineup are you interested in seeing today, Charlie?
Well, there's a bunch of players. It's kind of good to see this Mustangs lineup get back to almost their roots. A lot of players out here tonight that we saw in that opening day start. Nothing too interesting. It's good to see head coach Johnny Coy stick with what's been working all year despite the, mishaps lately. Carson Schrack's back at shortstop, which is what I'm excited to see. We haven't seen him play short in a little bit because Mason Holton's been playing over there. We've seen Carson Schmidt play over there, so it's good to see Schrack back at shortstop. I'm interested to see what that does for him today.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back from the national anthem, we will hear the starting lineup for the Nevada Griffins. Welcome back to the St. Joseph Mustangs live stream. Tyler Bermundo alongside Charlie Marshall. Now we're getting to the starting lineups for both the Nevada Griffins and defensive lineup for the St. Joseph Mustangs. Starting with defensively, Sam Pitts is pitching. Jeter Mose at first. Carson Schmidt playing second. Jordan Black at third. Carson Schrack playing short. Got a couple Carsons up the middle. Frank Galls in left. Trevor McCullum's in center. Darius Freeman in right. And catching Sam Pitts is going to be Dom Felix. That is the defensive lineup for the Mustangs. For the visiting Nevada Griffins, the batting lineup is Bryce Humphrey playing left, Diego Flores at short, Luke Robinson in center, Cooper Rasmussen at third, Cooper Molnaric at DHing, Rhett Hayes at first, Jordan Stuckey behind the plate, Landon Maples at second, and rounding out the starting nine is going to be Cy Steele in right field. Charlie, who do we need to look out for on the Nevada Griffins team?
Well, for this Griffins team, they have one key player, and that is Cooper Rasmussen. Rasmussen coming in tonight leads the team in hits, RBIs, and home runs. And he's also hitting .320. So he's going to hit for power, he's going to hit the ball far, and he's going to drive in runs while doing it. So if Pitts can kind of stay away from Rasmussen, not give him anything too much to hit, the rest of this Griffins lineup is not too stacked. Obviously, like every other lineup, the Minky League, the top of their lineup has guys who can hit. There's other players in this lineup like Bryce Humphrey, who's leading off. He leads the team in batting average, hitting over .350. He's a good hitter. But if you can limit Cooper Rasmussen tonight, I think that Sam Pitts and the Mustangs are going to be just fine.
Yeah, the one thing to note for this Nevada Griffins team is they are very, very inexperienced when it comes to college ball. Almost every guy on the roster, barring a couple guys in the starting lineup, were either true freshmen or redshirted. So really not many at-bats and not many innings in college for that team. Also, a couple guys from California to note. Both their two-hitter, Diego Flores, goes to Cal State LA, and Bryce Humphrey, their leadoff guy, is from Indiana but went to Mater Dei High School, which is out in California.
Yeah, but to talk about, you mentioned they're young, that might be why these guys are off to a slow start. I mean, 3-9 is nothing to write home about. And I think that's because these guys haven't seen pitching like they've seen so far in the Minky League. This lineup isn't used to the higher velocities like you see in college, whereas the Mustangs are a much more experienced team who have played high-level college baseball for multiple years. Same with the pitchers. You're going against much more talented hitters in this league if you haven't played college baseball.
So we will see how that's going to work out for this young Griffins team, going off against Sam Pitts, the lefty, number 55. We mentioned has a 2 ERA and not a lot of walks, as his first pitch is fouled back by Bryce Humphrey. So that begs the question, because you have guys that potentially ride the bench early on in their college career, and you talk about seeing college pitching. So why do guys end up breaking out their junior and senior year when they don't really get the at-bats in game?
Well, a lot of work going on behind the scenes. First off, you have guys like this in this Griffins lineup who haven't played yet in college, but they're here facing guys who have played in college. Sam Pitts has experience pitching in college, and this Griffins lineup has never seen this kind of pitching, right? Or until this year, this summer. So when they go back to college next year, they're gonna have seen pitching like that. So when they do finally play, it's not brand new to them. They're also getting bigger and stronger. They're getting faster. All of that stuff in college, you just develop and grow a lot more in that age.
Bryce Humphrey up in the count 2-1 on Sam Pitch as the 2-1 pitch is waved at and missed. Good fastball on the inside part of the plate. Another thing to mention is we saw Diego de Santiago come out of the pen yesterday, a guy who was seen as a starter for this Mustangs team, but now we have Sam Pitts making his first career start for the Mustangs, as that ball is a strike in Little League. I've been about 54 feet. How would you say the mindset changes now as you've been coming out of the pen, having success, to all of a sudden you start the game?
Well, it's definitely a different mindset, and we're going to see if Sam Pitts can handle it. It can be tough to start games. A lot of guys will say it's tougher to come out of the bullpen.
Ball's grounded to the shortstop, Schrack, couple hops, shuffle, and that is one out here in the top of the first.
But yeah, a lot of guys are going to say it's tougher to come out of the pen. One, you don't know exactly when you're going to start. You don't get your usual routine before the game. You could come in with runners on, whereas a starter, Pitts should look solid here to start the game. He got a full-length warm-up time. He got to do as much as he wanted. He knew exactly when the game was going to start. He knew exactly when he was going to pitch, unlike when he's been coming out of the bullpen.
Now up is the lefty Diego Flores out of Cal State University, L.A. It's a D2 out in California, as the junior takes one outside. He's 5'7", and is from East Los Angeles.
Does it feel good to see some California natives out here?
No, it's funny. I'm looking at their roster. There are definitely guys I have probably played against at some point. I mean, this guy's the same age as me. And Cal State LA, I have 4 or 5 guys I know personally that attend that school. Pitts quickly down 2-0, falling behind the first 2 batters of the game. As he gets one right back there. 2-1 count here to Diego Flores. Pitts is ready for the 2-1. The lefty kicks and deals. And another fastball on the outside part of the plate.
Pitts has attacked that fastball all year. It's been his most effective pitch. He's tallied his most strikeouts with it. It's what he likes to go to, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see it right here.
See if Charlie's correct. The 2-2 offering is swung on and hits a Black at third. And no problems over there for Black. It's a quick 2 up, 2 down here for the Mustangs.
There's a lot of guys in this Mustangs lineup that are comfortable playing over there in the short and third base spot. But I think overall, I mean, just watching Deuce 2 plays, these guys there's cannons over there at third base. And I think those are probably the Mustangs' 2 best fielders at those 2 positions. What do you think, Tyler?
I think you said Jordan Black and Carson Schrack.
Mm-hmm.
I really have liked Schrack at third. And Black has held it down as there's a ground ball to the second baseman, Carson Schmidt, who is also a good fielder in his own right. So a quick 1-2-3 inning here for Sam Pitts to start his afternoon. Mustangs lead off when we come back. Welcome back to the friendly confines of Phil Welch Stadium here in St. Joseph, Missouri. Starting lineup for your St. Joseph Mustangs. New look lineup for these Mustangs as well. Darius Freeman playing right, Trevor McCullum in center, Carson Schrack at short, Jeter Mose at third, Jordan Black at third base. Sorry, Jeter Mose at first, Jordan Black at third base, Jaden Little's DHing, Dom Felix behind the plate, Carson Schmidt at second, and Frank Gall playing left field. Defensively, for the Nevada Griffins, Rhett Hayes is at first, Landon Maples at second, Cooper Rasmussen at third, Diego Flores playing short, Bryce Humphrey in left, Luke Robinson in center, Cy Steele in right, Jordan Stuckey catchers. There's a line drive by Darius Freeman, misplayed over there by Diego Flores. What a start to the game for the Mustangs. And on the mound for the Nevada Griffins is the 6'3", 280-pound Gage Carson.
Carson is a huge frame out there on the mound.
We saw a guy yesterday come out of pin who was around the same size as Carson. He was what, 6'3", 290? Or no, 6'6", 290? Something crazy like that. As the first pitch to Trevor McCullum is swung on and missed. Where would you say a good body weight is for a pitcher? Because you don't want to be too big out there. But at the same time, more mass equals more power.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on your height, first of all. If you're the taller you are,
as there goes Freeman, his ball's fouled back.
The taller you are, the more you want to weigh. And so it just depends on, you want to weigh as much as you can while not losing any sort of flexibility on the mound. Because, I mean, flexibility when pitching is just as important as strength.
I agree, and it's pretty cool. You see guys like Marcus Stroman at 5'8", who are able to run up into 96, and you got guys like TC Sabathia, who ran 95, 97, and he was a huge guy. So they come in all different shapes and sizes, but a lot of guys can get the job done. The 0-2 pitch here to Trevor McCullum. There goes Darius Freeman, and that is another foul ball here from McCullum.
Yeah, there's clearly not one answer to that question, as we've seen guys, like you just said, in all shapes and sizes doing it.
It also matters for the individual as well. Some guys do better when they put on an extra 10, 15 pounds, and other guys do better when they slim down. It's all about finding what works for that player. The Washburn product, Trevor McCullum, fouls off another pitch. McCullum stands at 6 foot, 180 pounds, and he has been in the academic honor roll every year he's been in college. Good for him.
Love seeing these Mustangs getting it done in the classroom.
Freeman not going as that breaking ball's taken upstairs.
It's only a matter of time before Freeman takes off again at first base.
I wouldn't be surprised either. Gage Carson, big frame though, not throwing particularly hard at all. There's a great jump by Freeman, as that throw is going to be way too late. Not a strong throw either. That looked like it was, I thought it was going to center field, and the ball kind of just died out there. McCullum draws the count even at 2-2. Quick look from Carson. That ball's grounded to short. Freeman going on the play is going to get to third. And getting pulled off the bag, but making a nice tag as Rhett Hayes over there at first. So it's going to go as a 6-3. But Darius Freeman makes up the third. And Carson Schrack digs in. And that's a very smart play over there by Freeman. Typically, when a ball's hit to your right side, as a base runner at second base, you don't go. But because that ball is hit so slow, he was able to outrun the ball and make a good read. What else would you say about that?
Yeah, he did a good job kind of waiting for the shortstop. He obviously he's confident in his ability to get back to first, or to get to third. So he kind of waited, tried to get in the vision of shortstop out there, affect the play. He did do that as the play was made, but still a good attempt for Freeman, a heads-up play from a heads-up base runner.
And now for Schrack with the infield in regular depth minus the third baseman, can hit a ground ball or a fly ball and get the first run of the ballgame in.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird strategy from the Griffins to only have your third baseman on the grass. You see corners a lot in these situations where the first baseman will come in too. But to just bring in one infielder, they must maybe protecting a bunt of some sort.
There's a fly ball out there to left field. Bryce Humphrey going to make the play. There goes Freeman. And although a pretty good throw, Freeman's going to be in there safe. It's 1-0 Mustangs here in the bottom of the first, thanks to a sacrifice fly by Carson Schrack.
Yeah, that's a great piece of hitting from Schrack. Not trying to do too much, staying within himself, taking the ball to the opposite side of the field for a nice sacrifice fly, and he'll take that RBI all year long.
In sips now, Jeter Mose, the first baseman, taking a breaking ball on the outside part of the plate.
So, Mose, you kind of got to switch up your mindset. You were just on deck with a runner on third base, only one out. Now you're up 2 outs, no one on.
That ball's lined up the middle and past Diego Flores at short. So a 2-out single for Mose brings up the third baseman, Jordan Black.
Well, I was just about to say, go from being a run producer to an inning guy, a big leadoff. And that's exactly what Mose did. Good piece of hitting, drove it up the middle. Hit pretty well.
And Mose, a pretty aggressive hitter, took the breaking ball on the outside corner. A good pitch there from Carson, but then let the fastball on the inside part of the plate. Mose loves to do damage on those pitches. Quick look over there at Mose. Nothing happened. Jordan Black headed to Wichita State after his stint at Johnson County Community College. That ball's lined to left field and going to get past Bryce Humphrey over there. Going to third and being held up there is Jeter Mose, and Black safe at second. The ball's going to get away from the shortstop, Diego Lopez. And a costly error. It's going to make it 2-0 Mustangs.
That was just an extremely unforced error from the Griffins right there. There was no pressure. Both runners had come to a complete stop, and then Flores just spiked the ball on the throw to second base. And that's a costly error as it gives the Mustangs a 2-run lead.
Is there anything Landon Maples could have done in second there besides pick that, try to body?
I mean, yeah, you love, in that situation, getting the body in front of the ball due to the fact that there's no play there. His only job is to keep it in front of him.
There's a ground ball with a weird spin over there from Jaden Little. But that's going to be a third of the inning, but not before the Mustangs strike for 2 in the bottom of the first. Early lead for the Mustangs, something we haven't seen in a little bit. It's going to be 2-0 as we head to the top of the second. Keep it here on the St. Joseph Mustangs broadcast. Tyler Ramundo and Charlie Marshall welcome you back to St. Joseph, Missouri. The Mustangs with a quick 2-0 lead here against the Nevada Griffins. Cooper Rasmussen digs in for the Griffins as his first offering from Sam Pitts is a breaking ball that missed somewhere.
Yeah, Rasmussen's the guy you got to watch out for. Luckily for Pitts here, he's leading off the inning, so, he can't do too much.
As Pitts quickly down 2-0 in the count. Pitts in the first inning didn't really get ahead of a lot of guys, but still had a 1-2-3 inning with a ground ball to short, third, and second in that order. And the 2-0 pitch is lined, having trouble with the sun is McCullum, but making a great play out there for the first out.
Yeah, McCullum's done a great job out there in center field all year. When he's playing, he's typically the outfielder in center field, and what that tells you is head coach Johnny Coy has the most confidence in him, to make those tough plays and showcase some serious range.
McCullum very fast, so is Gall and Freeman. What have you seen from McCullum out there in the outfield that maybe puts him in the center field spot over those other two?
Well, he gets the ball quicker than the other two. I think he just reads the ball better off the bat. Obviously, Freeman probably the fastest of them out there, but it doesn't necessarily mean he's the most well fit for center field, and I think we're seeing that perfectly, as I do think McCullum in center field is the right decision.
1-1 count here to the fifth hitter, Cooper Molnaric, the DH. Molnaric at Mount Marty University, the 5'10", 195-pound freshman. So he's down 1-2 after that foul ball. So far, Pitts looks like this is one of those typical days out of the pen for him. Pretty efficient, doing his job. Last time we saw him at home, he threw 3 shutout innings, coming in the 4th, 5th, and 6th.
Yeah, I will say the one thing that's been a little different from Pitts so far is he's typically a strikeout guy. You know, he averages 11 Ks per 9. He's only 4 batters in, but still no strikeouts. Just a little different from what we're usually seeing. He has 2 strikes right here.
There's a ground ball to the second baseman. Schmidt should have enough time, and he will. And quickly 5 up, 5 down for these Griffins as Sam Pitts pitching effectively.
Yeah, and the lack of strikeouts isn't really a concern when you're getting as weak of contact as Pitts is getting right now. I mean, there's yet to be any balls that have been hit well, except for maybe Rasmussen's ball out there to center field.
And really, strikeouts, when you're not getting guys on, aren't as important. And in fact, when you have a lot of strikeouts, you tend to run your pitch count up. Sam Pitts now being very efficient as he throws a nice breaking ball over for a first pitch strike.
Yeah, what that does is it's just going to keep the hitters on edge. Even if Pitts doesn't like to throw a breaking ball first pitch every time, the fact that he's willing to do it and can throw it for a strike, it just kind of lingers in the back of most of these hitters' minds as it could happen, and you can't sit dead red fastball.
Yeah, especially first pitch, make them scramble a bit, and it sets you up for a fastball later in the at-bat. Get an out pitch with a fastball, and Sam Pitts has got a good one. The 1-1 pitch misses just high to the first baseman, Rhett Hayes. The redshirt freshman stands at 6'1", 220 pounds. 3-1 count here to Hayes, who is from Bozeman, Montana.
Not a lot of people from Montana.
Not just the
Not general, but also in the Mink League.
3-1 pitch here to Hayes is cut on and missed. Big swing by the big first baseman. You ever been to Montana?
I haven't. Have you?
I'm still convinced it doesn't exist.
I will say I've watched my fair share of Montana State Bobcats basketball games. Don't know why.
It's true. Didn't they make the tournament?
They did. They made the conference tournament this year.
As that ball misses just outside.
I thought we were seeing a punch out. The way
I think everyone
stood up.
but Rhett Hayes thought that was strike 3, but the umpire didn't either. So a 2-out walk here brings up Jordan Stuckey, the catcher. Stuckey at Maryville University, and he redshirted his first time out, and he is from Costa Mesa, California. It's about 22 minutes from where I live.
That was a pretty precise estimate.
I'll get into the story after. There's a ground ball to Jordan Black. Good pick over there and a smooth play.
Great play.
Jordan Black flashing the leather in the first couple innings. 2-0 Mustangs. We head to the bottom of the second. Keep it here on the St. Joseph Mustangs. Welcome back to Phil Welch Stadium. Dom Felix stepping in for the Mustangs here on Mental Health Awareness Night at Phil Welch Stadium. And while we just saw Captain Hook and Peter Pan, Joy from Inside Out 2 is here. They also gave away free Pit Vipers to the first 100 fans. So if you don't know about that promotional schedule, there are some good things you might be missing at Phil Welch. Tomorrow is Star Wars night. And the Mustangs get a day off as the St. Joseph Tenderloins come to town.
Ah, yes, the Tenderloins. Still undefeated on the year.
They're currently 1-0.
I can't wait to make that joke 100 times tomorrow.
And I still have yet to be the play-by-play guy for a Tenderloins game. And honestly, I don't need to be. 0-2 pitch to Dom Felix from Gage Carson is taken outside.
It's very kind of you to leave all the Tenderloins games to me.
It's also, did I say it was Star Wars night?
Yeah, Star Wars night. Bring your Luke Skywalker fits and lightsabers.
The 1-2 pitch is taken down. Look like a changeup there from Gage Carson.
I can't wait to see your Star Wars fit tomorrow, Tyler.
So my Star Wars fit, I'm actually going as a Mustangs ball player.
Okay.
It's pretty similar to what I wear every night. As that pitch is waved at and missed. Good breaking ball there from Gage Carson. That's him, his first strikeout of the game.
Yeah, Carson not the most effective with the velocity, so he's going to have to kind of rely on breaking balls, and we saw that one right there. Had Dom Felix chasing.
He's doing a Star Wars impression. Look like a lightsaber. He's trying to swing that one. Carson Schmidt, the second baseman, steps in. As he lays down a bunt, it's going to be up in the air, but it's going to work out. As Carson Schmidt with a little unorthodox drag bunt.
Yeah, there wasn't even a chance of a throw. That thing went straight up and then died the minute it fell into the ground, leaving third baseman absolutely no play.
That was beautiful. Had some backspin on there. Kind of stopped on a dime.
Yeah, there's
And
nothing
who else
could have done with that.
Who else but Carson Schmidt? I don't think we have the leaders for bunts. As there goes Schmidt. Ball is popped up and foul. But we don't have the leaders in terms of bunt singles in the Mink League, but no doubt in my mind Carson Schmidt is not leading.
He's definitely up there. He's showcasing a drag bunt, in his bag at least once a game. I feel like every time he's in the lineup, we see something from him. Some sort of push, drag, sacrifice. It's a weapon if you can execute it.
Check over there at Schmidt. It's a weapon, but then it also frees you up to find a hole, because when that third baseman starts to play in on you, that 5-6 hole opens up tremendously. Frank Gall steps in, the left fielder for your Mustangs tonight. He's down 0-1. There goes Schmidt. Ball taken inside. Going to be a close play, but that ball skips in. He's going to be safe.
Yeah, Carson does a good job with the runners in terms of how quick he is, limiting their good jumps. Even Freeman's steal of second, if it was a good throw, it would have been a close play. And just like that one, a better throw, and Schmidt might have been hung out to dry.
I just think Stuckey has the best arm that we've seen from these catchers. Ball fouled. Pretty close to the camera. Charlie trying to make a play.
That was legitimately coming right to us.
Yeah, I don't know why they have this net here. Like, just to protect the fans? Make a play.
Bring your glove to Phil Welch.
Sounds like a promotional night. Bring your glove to the game day.
Isn't that every game?
If you were 12. It's actually at a Angels game, and for my birthday, and me and my buddy Brett back home were there for pregame batting practice, and there was a baseball hit right to us. Didn't have to move, and he puts up his hat, and the ball completely took off his hat. His hat went about 3 rows. There's a swing over from Gall to the third baseman. Throws high, but coming down quick enough is Rhett Hayes.
That's unfortunate, because that's just an incorrect call from the umpire in the field. Rhett Hayes went way up to make that, or to have just to limit the overthrow, and by the time he came down, Gall had completely dug that ball out.
Fans not happy about that call. I would say if he got the tag in, he might have had a chance to beat him, but there was no way that Hayes' foot came down before Gall's at first base.
Yeah, Gall was upset the minute he saw the call, put his hands in the air, and rightfully so, because I really think Gall dug that one out.
Runner on second now for the leadoff man, Darius Freeman today. Carson Smith stands at second. Freeman with a one-hop single to the shortstop, one off of his glove, Diego Flores, in the first inning. As he takes a pitch outside. I'm looking at the birthplaces of a lot of these Griffins players. Can you tell me where Carl Junction, Missouri is?
I actually have played a baseball game there before. Junction, I think it's Junction City, right? Or is it Carl Junction?
Carl Junction.
Maybe not.
Junction City, I've heard of.
Maybe
How about Joplin, Missouri?
Joplin's a pretty big town, actually. Pretty big city. One of the definitely, I'd say a top, maybe 15 in Missouri. I'm not sure. It's well known. You see a lot of street signs when you drive around on the highway out here. I'm surprised you don't know where that is.
Really haven't been to many places in Missouri. I kind of stay in Lawrence and in Kansas. Really never been out here to the Midwest at all. California boy. Throw and pitch here to Darius Freeman is swung on and skied out to center field. Having some trouble with the sun as the center fielder, but no problem over there for Luke Robinson. So Schmidt with a one-out drag bunt, but the Mustangs have nothing to show for. It's going to be 2-0 as we head to the top of the third inning. Keep it here at Phil Welch Stadium. Two 2-0 Mustangs in the top of the third inning. You just saw some beautiful dancing to the YMCA. Taco hitter Landon Maples is up as that bunt is popped up, took a bounce in fair territory, ended up going foul. That's one way to avoid a strikeout as the taco hitter.
Well, you don't want to strike out as a taco hitter. That's what you do. You drop the bunt.
I think so far we are on a 3-game streak of taco strikeouts.
Yeah, we saw 3 of them last night, didn't we?
Is it 3? 2 or 3? Something up there. Still don't have one, though. Still have not gotten my free taco. I ended up getting a taco yesterday. Just had to pay for it.
I can confirm now. We were talking about the other day. It's a Taco Bell taco that you win if the taco hitter goes down.
Are we sponsored? Am I allowed to talk about Taco Bell on air? There's another bunt there, this time to the left side. Sam Pitts with a tough play and goes through the legs.
They could get him out right here. He should. Oh.
Okay, so what Charlie was talking about is, did the runner?
He made a move to second base. So what happened there was on the overthrow, as a runner, you want to break down and stop, but instead Steele there kind of.
Landon Maples.
or excuse me, Atlanta Maples. I was looking at the wrong batter. Maples made a motion to second base, and if you make any kind of notion towards advancing to second base, you have to get back to first, and you're not given the free pass like you usually are.
As there goes Maples. Good throw from Felix was going to be needed, and that ball pulled the second baseman Carson Smith off the bag. So question for you then, do you have to be on the left side of first base when you make a move? Like, for example, if you peel off to the right and then take a look at second.
It doesn't matter if you make any kind of movement or symbol of attempting to advance to second base on an overthrow of any sort like that, then if you don't get back to first base in time, then you can be ruled out. And it's an umpire's discretion. It was a small movement. So if the field umpire didn't feel like he made, a clear movement to second base, that's obviously he didn't. He called them safe, but that one was close for sure.
1-1 now to Cy Steele, the right fielder, as he takes a fastball on the inside corner. Cy Steele goes to the University of Jamestown, where a couple other Griffins go. He's a junior from Yakima, Washington.
So the Jamestown that's up northeast, or?
I think it's northeast. I actually know a guy who goes to Jamestown. But no, definitely a fun little geography. I'm looking at my notes here. I think there's 6 different states in the starting lineup for this Griffins team. 2-2 count here from Sam Pitts is fouled back.
Yeah, it just shows me head coach Aaron Hassel for the Griffins was doing his recruiting, bringing in people from all over the country. It's his first year as a head coach, too, as well. So maybe some resilience as to why he has a lot of younger players. I'm not sure if there's a connection
as a
there.
Pickoff move from Sam Pitts is going to get Landon Maples. So an inside move from Pitts. Maples went on his leg kick. And a big pickoff there from the pitcher, Sam Pitts.
As a runner trying to steal third base, sometimes if you decide that you're going before that leg is lifted, the inside move can get you. And that's exactly what happened right there to Maples. He had made up his mind that he wanted to steal. He went on first movement, and unfortunate for him, Pitts was picking him off.
There's a ground ball up the middle. Should be no problem over there for Schrack, and it won't be. After the pickoff, it's going to be 2 outs here for the top of the Griffins lineup. Bryce Humphrey.
Just shows how quickly an inning can change. They had a guy, they had Maples on second base with no one out, a chance to really at least drop the deficit to 1, get something going, tie it up, and all of a sudden there's 2 outs, no one on, and they're still trailing by 2.
And similar to the ball that Darius Freeman advanced on, is if he did not attempt to steal, he would have been at third base with 1 out. Fastball was called a strike off the glove of Dom Felix.
Yeah, what happened to Felix there is he was set up for an outside fastball. Pitts' fastball ran inside. And sometimes those pitches can be dangerous as it can cause a catcher to try and get under it with their thumb. Makes it tough to catch. Can also lead to jammed or broken thumbs. Definitely not a good feeling.
I'm also surprised it was called a strike, even though that ball was probably over the plate. Just the way he set up and caught that ball, but got the call anyway. As a check swing held up there by Bryce Humphrey as a 2-1 count here to the Griffins leadoff man.
A lot of hitters umpires don't give calls like that if pitchers miss their spots or if the catcher drops the ball.
There's a line shot into left field. No chance for Frank Gall. Humphrey making a turn, but going to stay at first. So a 2-out single for Bryce Humphrey is going to bring up the Cal State LA product, Diego Flores.
And that's what Bryce Humphrey's done all year. He's hitting .350 for a reason. Although hitting .350, only 1 extra base hit on the year. So he likes those singles, and that's what you're going to get a lot of from him, and that's why he's leading off for this Griffins lineup.
He's got some pop as well. Bryce Humphrey from Frontier Community College had 3 bombs in his 2 years of college.
Is that pop now? 3 home runs, 2 years?
I had 3 home runs in the last 2 years, so I have pop. 1-0 pitch to Diego Flores as he takes that fastball for a strike. Yeah, he's from Evansville, Indiana, but went to Mater Dei out in California. That's south of Los Angeles.
So you're all well kept about that California geography, but when it comes to Missouri, you're a
Not
little
just Missouri.
anywhere but California, huh?
Essentially.
I'm just thankful.
Hey, I know Arizona and not, is it, not Nevada. Nevada, I know pretty well.
I'm thankful every time we do these that we are not broadcasting these in California.
Charlie, can you tell me where Victorville, California is?
We're not doing that.
Victorville is one of the big cities on your way to Vegas.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, there you go. Read my mind. 2-2 count here from Flores. Humphrey not going anywhere as that breaking ball is taken just outside. Full count. Bryce Humphrey going to get a jump here. As a ball in the gap should probably score the runner from first.
And Pitts almost had Flores with that one. He at least had him thinking about it. Full count, I would still go back to the fastball.
There's a line drive and going to do the same thing. Land in front of Frank Gall. It's going to be first and second here. A 2-out rally for the Griffins. But if you want to go back to that inside move from Sam Pitts and how big that was.
I was just about to mention that. It's crucial. I mean, in that situation, there's no one on and 2 outs, back-to-back hits. If Maples is on base, the Griffins score and now have a chance to tie the game up with just one swing.
Not out of the woods yet as Luke Robertson steps in. He goes to ASU Mid-South. He's a freshman. And his freshman year, and actually had the most experience in college out of any of the freshmen on this Griffins team. He had 160 at-bats, 3 home runs, 11 doubles, and a triple, batting .287. As Pitts draws the count even 1-1.
Well, that's a good year, especially as a freshman in college.
Yeah, if you're even just work your way in the starting lineup as a freshman, I think that's a successful year for you, no matter how great your stats are.
Yeah, I would agree with that. College baseball's tough.
As a line shot is caught by Pitts. Man, that is some reaction right there. And luckily he didn't get hit, and even more impressive, he made the play. Escaping a jam is Sam Pitts, and the Mustangs hang on to their 2-0 lead as we head to the bottom of the third. Keep it here on the St. Joseph Mustangs broadcast. Welcome back to the friendly confines of Phil Welch Stadium. Sam Pitts catching a bullet of a line drive to end the top of the third for the Griffins, and showing us why Ty Bermundo did stop playing baseball is I got one of those, but I did not in fact catch it. I wore it. Trevor McCollum steps in for the Mustangs in the bottom of the third as he hits a line shot to the third baseman Cooper Rasmussen, and a low throw is going to get by the first baseman. Digging for second is Trevor McCollum. And it's going to go as an E5 to start this Mustangs bottom of the third.
Yeah, heads-up base running from McCollum. Never even thought about returning the first the minute he saw that one skip away. And Rasmussen did the hard part, fielded the tough hop, had all day to make a throw, just spiked it.
He spiked it. How much do you think that was on Rhett Hayes as well? Because that was closer to what we call a long hop.
I agree with that. That one was definitely a longer hop. Now, we have this pillar right in front of us, so it's tougher to see. But Hayes over there at first didn't even get a glove on it, so I'm not exactly sure how that went straight by him. It's one of those where it's going to go down as an Aaron Rasmussen, but Hayes definitely could have picked him up.
And from what I saw, I don't have that poll in my view, and it looked like he tried to stretch for it when he didn't need to. He was out by multiple feet, so he could have taken that on a much longer hop. Skying this ball to center is Carson Schrack, and making the play is Luke Robinson. McCullum not going anywhere. So this would be 1 on and 1 out for the cleanup man, Jeter Mose.
Rasmussen was playing in again there. I don't know what kind of scouting report they got on Carson Schrack, but I don't think we've seen him bunt once all year. I just don't understand why the third baseman comes into the grass every time he steps up to the plate.
I mean, maybe it's the thought process of the lefty being able to do it. At the same time, I'd much rather let a guy get his infield single than hit one down the line.
Especially a player like Schrack. I mean, he's one of the better hitters in this lineup. Just coming off a JUCO season where he hit 400. He's committed to Arkansas. I mean, this guy can clearly swing it, and he's not looking to bunt when he comes up there.
He also has some wheels, though, so maybe that's their thought process. As Mose draws the count 1-1 after a off-speed pitch misses low. McCullum at second. Gage Carson takes a look and fires. And that ball's fouled off Mose's foot. What have you seen so far from the starting pitcher, Gage Carson?
Well, I think he's been a little bit more effective than I thought he would. I mean, Carson coming in tonight had an ERA about an 11. He'd given up 9 earned runs on the year. He just his stats didn't look like he was some premier pitcher, and he's already given up 2, but he's not getting barreled as much as I thought he might. He's living a little bit more with that off speed. This is a breaker right there. And he just needs to keep doing that. He needs to keep getting ahead of hitters, because a pitcher like Carson, if you fall behind guys and you have to throw the fastball, it's just never going to work out for you when you can't blow it by him.
2-2 pitch here to Mose is fouled back again. Yeah, not a lot of velocity, decent movement, but not a power pitcher by any means. And also walks a decent amount of guys, and that's not really a recipe for success. You either got to be able to paint with okay stuff, or you can have great stuff and get away with it. It was popped up. Taking a look is the right fielder in second base, but it's the right fielder, Cy Steele, making the play. Tagging up is McCullum, and he's going to get into third safely.
Yeah, McCullum knew he was going to tag the minute that ball was brought in. Just a really awkward spot out there for Steele. McCullum fast enough to tag up every single time on a play like that.
Yeah, if he maybe comes around that ball a bit more, he can have a direct line to third base. But it would have been a tough play either way. Stepping in now is Jordan Blacko with the big RBI double in the first inning, plating the Mustangs' second run of the ball game. So he takes a pitch off the outside part of the plate. Jordan Black hitting .233 on the year, but has drawn 9 walks and actually has 7 RBIs, which puts him right around the middle of the pack for this Mustangs team.
Well, he's looking to get another one right here. And Black, yeah, not the best average, but he's doing about everything else well at the plate right now. He's hit a couple balls hard yesterday, had 2 lineouts. He's done that all year. It's only a matter of time before that average kind of shoots up. I think last time you talked about a player's average being low was Darius Freeman. I think we all know what happened next. Wouldn't surprise me if we had a turnaround for Jordan Black just like that.
That's what we're hoping for, and if that's the case, then every single guy in this Mustangs lineup will be talked about their average. Jordan Black here, 2-1 count. That ball's lined to the third baseman, and off the glove of Cooper Rasmussen. That's going to be a run. So the Mustangs now lead it 3-0 here in the bottom of the third.
Yeah, we'll see how friendly the official scorekeeper wants to be with that one. It looks like that's going to go on an error. So the third error of the game for Rasmussen, or for the Griffins, the second on Rasmussen. And I get it. That play should have been made, but I mean, he was moving, so I could have seen it being a hit, or at least for Black's sake, wouldn't have minded it being ruled a hit.
I would have gone with a hit there. That ball's lined off the pitcher. Gage Carson can't do what Sam Pitts just did, as Jaden Little is going to have a 2-out single. That was identical to Sam Pitts right there.
Yeah, that got him right in his quad. That's the good part.
Yeah, luckily, getting hit in the quad, you got some meat on that bone. If you get hit much closer to like a ligament.
Really, anywhere else, if you get hit, it's going to hurt a lot more than. Really, the only places if you could pick to get hit would be the quad, I guess, maybe the stomach.
Stomach, really?
I don't know, I guess, or your glute, your core, like something where you just carry a little bit of extra, like, body fat.
Not you, Charlie. That ball's gonna go straight through you.
Okay, that's crazy.
It's a compliment. It's going off your abs, buddy.
Yeah, exactly. You said straight through me.
My mistake. Dom Felix now steps in with a runner at first and second, and 2 out. Dom is the only victim of a K so far from Gage Carson as he struck out last inning.
Yeah, not strikeout. It was just a really well-thrown curveball from Carson. And so if you're Gage Carson, you're going to be looking to get Felix swinging again. A situation like this, a strikeout would be nice. Get some momentum, get you going on the mound a little bit. Really any kind of out I think Carson will take, though.
1-1 count is pitch in the dirt. You got Felix on a breaking ball last time.
Yeah, it's a good adjustment from Felix. That was similar to the pitch he struck out. That one spiked a little bit earlier on the way to the plate, but still, Felix didn't really look interested in that at all.
2-1 count here to Dom Felix. That ball's lined into left field. Bryce Humphrey going to come up with a throw, cut off, and hung out to dry is Jordan Black. Interesting choice to send the guy even with 2 outs as he was out by 30 feet.
Yeah, that ball was just hit a little too hard by Dom Felix. Jordan Black just not quite fast enough. I don't think anyone in the entire world was fast enough to score on that one.
So the Mustangs do strike for 1 thanks to 2 errors by the third baseman Cooper Rasmussen. It's going to be 3-0. So we head to the top of the 4th. Keep it here at Phil Welch Stadium. Mustangs lead at 3-0 as we head to the top of the 4th. Leading off is Cooper Rasmussen for the Griffins. He takes a breaking ball in there for a first pitch strike. Sam Pitts last inning gave up 3 hits, but didn't allow a runner past second base.
Yeah, weird inning, and that was all because of Sam Pitts' inside move, which got Maples at second base to start the inning. Ended up saving him a run.
The 1-1 pitch here to Rasmussen, hoping to make up for his defensive performance last inning. Not going to do it on that swing.
As a pitcher, how important are the pickoff moves to you? Like, do you work on those at all? I know we saw Zach Greinke once. I don't know if anyone ever heard that story about how spring training he was intentionally walking hitters just to work on his pickoff moves in game.
Well, that's Zach Greinke for you. It's good to be able to control the running game. I don't think pickoffs are necessarily the only thing you can do, but you have to be able to keep base runners honest. Whether that's being really quick to the plate, varying your hold times, or having a good pickoff move. It's also pretty rare to see a inside move to second base for an out. Lining out and making the play is Carson Schrack on Cooper Rasmussen. As it's going to be one out now for the other Cooper Molinaric.
Schrack, good play there not to panic on the ball hit over his head. A good drop step from his left foot and just kind of played under it nicely.
And curveballs galore here from Sam Pitts as the two left-handers coming in, both taking them for first pitch strikes.
Well, two left-handers. Also, when you're a starter, you have to rely on your secondary pitches more often than just being a reliever. I was talking to some of those guys, and they tell me when you come out of the bullpen as a reliever, you can just kind of throw as hard as you can, hard as you want to. As a starter, you got to play a little bit more of the longevity game, maintain yourself a little bit longer, and use the curveball and use the changeup more than you might out of the bullpen.
You also mentioned Diego de Santiago yesterday. Came out of the pen for the first time, and he was definitely up a few ticks on his fastball. I haven't seen Sam Pitts in a while, but before I saw him as a guy who threw really hard and can use that fastball to get by guys, today it's pretty firm, but not his out pitch. Another curveball fouled off.
Well, that's why guys like, Hunter Green for the Reds, Paul Skeens for the Pirates, and just it's super rare. Obviously, the flamethrowers out of the bullpen like Chapman and those guys are fun, but they're way more common than starters. Jacob deGrom's in that mix, too, who can do it for 6 innings.
That ball is lined just foul.
It's hard to throw that hard for that long.
Well, think about Jordan Hicks, a guy who was a primary bullpen, a high-leverage kind of pitcher for the Cardinals. He was able to get up to 105 a couple times. Usually sat 99 to 102. And then as a starter, he throws about 97 to 100. So still a pretty firm, but definitely lost a couple ticks. It also would impress me. The swung on and missing there is Molinaric for a strikeout from Sam Pitts, his first strikeout of the ball game.
Yeah, about time for Pitts to rack up that first K. Obviously, we're talking about how you have to, reel in your stuff as a starter. But I still thought we'd see some more strikeouts from Pitts than we have tonight. Still pitching greatly. Phenomenal start so far from Sam Pitts.
Now, I really like this move to put him in a starting role. There's another first pitch strike, the third of the inning for Sam Pitts. But going back to Jordan Hicks, I was going to say, Paul Skeen's a guy who can get up to 102, 103 as a starter. How fast do you think he throws the levers? This ball's skied out there to Frank Gallen left. And he's going to make the play. So Charlie will have our answer when we come back. 3-0 Mustangs. We head to the bottom of the fourth. Keep it here on the St. Joseph Mustangs broadcast. Welcome back to the friendly confines of Phil Welch Stadium. Mustangs have a 3-0 lead here as we head to the bottom of the fourth. Carson Schmidt leading us off as that ball's lined to the center fielder, Luke Robinson, and no problem over there for him. Well, we have the time. We're going to take a look at the upcoming Mustangs schedule. As we talked about, the Mustangs are in the midst of a 13-game, I guess, streak, if you want to call it, like playing streak. They have 13 straight games, so they're taking on the Griffins today. Tomorrow they take on Sedalia Bombers here at Phil Welch. They travel away to Nevada. They go to Des Moines to face the Crop Dusters. They go to Sedalia to play the Bombers. They play the Jefferson City Renegades Wednesday the 19th. And then have back-to-back games against the Kansas City Monarchs back here at Phil Welch Stadium. It'll be Tyler Mundo alongside someone else, Charlie Marshall, taking a leave of absence for a bit.
You know, those games, the 2021-22, those should be fun games. Those are three teams who aren't in the Mink League.
That ball's ground to the second baseman, Landon Maples. And quickly 2 outs here for Jace Johnson. That was Carson Schmidt flying out to center and Frank Gall grounding out to second.
But the Monarchs, I've kind of looked at them a little bit because some other teams that the Mustangs have played them. They look pretty solid, as well as the Van Johnson Raiders. I know a lot of guys on that team that are from my high school and just the surrounding Kansas City area.
Darius Freeman steps in as he takes a breaking ball for a ball. Well, you're not going to be here, though. I still expect you to do a lot of research, Charlie.
Well, of course.
No days off. 1-0 count here to Darius Freeman. Is popped a mile high and going for it and missing.
What
is Jordan Stuckey and colliding with Gage Carson as he's shaken up on the play.
Yeah, all three players for the Griffins, Stuckey, Carson, and who else is that over there, Tyler?
Brett Hayes.
Hayes all ended up on the ground. Not something you see every day. The ball wasn't caught. Freeman gets a second life.
And you got Gage Carson, 6'3", 280. Running in, and at first base is Rhett Hayes, 6'1", 220. That's a lot of big boys going for that ball.
Yeah, Carson really looked shaken up. I mean, when he got pieced up by that 1-2 innings ago, he took way less time than he's taking right now.
Yeah, I couldn't really slow down. It was funny. The pull was now in my way. Did you see what happened?
It just looked like Hayes, when he came in, maybe stepped or tripped on Carson's hamstring as Carson was kind of laying out for the ball along with his catcher, Stuckey, but Hayes came in late, kind of tripped up on him, maybe just cleated him, stepped on him wrong.
Looks like he'll be okay. See if you give him a warm-up pitch or not. He's shaking out that right hamstring.
Yeah, typically when a pitcher has an injury or something mild like this, the umpire will grant him a pitch or two if needed, but it doesn't look like that's the case here.
So Gage Carson back to the mound, 1-1 count on Darius Freeman. As that slider is driven into the gap, but a nice running grab there by Luke Robinson. So after a little bit of a break, it's a 1-2-3 inning for Gage Carson here in the bottom of the fourth. So we head to the top of the fifth. We have Mustangs trivia. When we come back, keep it here on the St. Joseph Mustangs broadcast.
Sorry. I don't know why it's not.
Mustangs lead at 3-0 as we enter the top of the 5th inning. Leading off for the Griffins is Jordan Stuckey, the catcher.
Stuckey was just in the midst of a collision, so good to see him not bothered at all.
Sam Pitts out for his 5th inning of work, and so far, outside of the 3rd inning, has not allowed a hit.
Yeah, and as a pitcher, a lot of guys like to use the word cruising, and that's the perfect word to describe Sam Pitts right now. Just cruising on the mound. His stuff is there. Everything's working. He has a great idea of what he wants to do, and he's executing it every time. It's great to see.
And without his normal strikeout total either.
Yeah, it's an interesting approach, different from what we've seen from Pitts in the past. But, hey, when you've thrown 4 scoreless innings, I'm not going to ask you to change anything.
0-2 pitch here from Pitts is taken just off the plate from Stuckey.
Yeah, Stuckey, kind of little half-check swing out there. Definitely wasn't a swing, but he thought about it.
But now this can allow Pitts to run something off the outside part of the plate. He goes inside, and the ball's popped up. Should be no collision over here for Dom Felix. And he's going to make the play for the first out of the top of the 5th, as promised. Mustangs trivia. Charlie 0 for 1 in the year. I was 1 for 1 in the year and then lost the trivia yesterday. I think this question's pretty easily. So, Charlie, which one of these legends has not played at Phil Welch Stadium?
Well, I'm gonna
A, Dan Uggla. I think we all know that one. B is Earl Weaver, C, Dizzy Dean, or D, Buck Leonard.
So I know Dan Uggla, the Braves All-Star, has played at Phil Welch. It's on a sign when I walk in. And I'm about 99% sure Earl Weaver has also played at Phil Welch. And then it leaves me Dizzy Dean or Buck Leonard. C or D. I can't say for certainty which one of these guys has played here. Or which one of the guys has not played here. I want to go with Buck Leonard because Dizzy Dean just sounds like he would have played here. It's so random. There's just no way you could have made that up. I want to go with Buck Leonard. I'm going to lock in D, Buck Leonard.
Well, Charlie, if D is your final answer, then that is correct.
Wow.
Buck Leonard has not played at Phil Welch Stadium. Dizzy Dean did all the way back in Mustang's first year in the Phil Welch's first year in 1939. So good call.
It just felt like Dizzy Dean was playing around. Yeah,
I was trying to get you because Buck Leonard is different than Buck O'Neill, and Buck O'Neill has played here as the 1-2 offering to Landon Maples is taken inside. Taco hitter is not struck out yet as he had a bunt single back in the 3rd.
Just feels good to get one right. Even up the game 1-2.
Ball lined out there to Trevor McCullum. Couple steps to his right, and no problem over there for the Mustang center fielder. It's going to be 2 outs here for Cy Steele.
Pitts continuing to do exactly what we're talking about. Just getting the weaker contact. And if it's hit hard, it's been right at his defenders.
Speaking of legends, the Nevada Griffins.
Yeah, we were talking about this.
So first off is Trevor Hoffman, played for the Griffins, and he actually ended up going to Cypress Community College in California, ended up going to Long Beach State after that. So he made the trip down to Kansas, Missouri, Nevada? Kansas. Okay, so he made a long trip. Ian Kinsler, Angel for a bit, played for the Rangers.
What do you know about Ian Kinsler, Tyler?
Played for Team Israel. Kinsler, big Jewish guy. Lastly, Sam Hilliard most recently.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys. We were kind of looking through the list, picking out who we thought.
Sam Pitts, a little do-it-yourself action, why don't you? Second time in as many innings. Sam Pitts has worked 5 scoreless here against the Griffins. It's going to be 3-0. We head to the bottom of the 3rd. Keep it here at Phil Welch Stadium. You're watching the Mustangs broadcast here at the friendly confines of Phil Welch Stadium as Trevor McCullum going to ground the ball to the shortstop Diego Flores, and he's going to have a quick first out. Tyler Mundo alongside Charlie Marshall is going to get to that before I was interrupted by that play. 4 straight now retired for Gage Carson, who struggled early, but maybe has settled in a bit.
Yeah, I think despite the 3 runs, this has still been Carson's best start of the year. He's now had 4 quick outs in a row. He's looked solid out there tonight. Better than I think we both thought he was going to do.
Yes, but and in this matchup, I for sure have Carson winning. It's Carson Strack steps in the shortstop. He is 0 for 1 on the day with a sacrifice fly back in the first inning, as the Carsons are even at 1-1.
I'm also going to take Carson here.
There's another Carson out there. It's the second baseman for the Mustangs, Carson Schmidt. As it looks like that ball's going to bounce off the first base bag, but handled over there by Rhett Hayes, and as you correctly predicted, Carson won that one. Gage Carson, to be exact.
Put that in the win column for both of us.
I think it was a pretty good prediction right there. Almost as good as your prediction of someone stealing on 3-2. I remember you did that earlier. 3-2 and 2 out.
You know,
Just a couple baseball geniuses in the broadcast booth today. Jeter Mose steps in with 2 outs. And a big rip at that one.
I think if you were to look at our predictions on the air, I'm looking at a way better average than you.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue that one. I had a pretty pretty abysmal day yesterday. I think I went 1 for 8 or something like that. A 1 pitch here to Mose is taken just a bit high. All right, fine, Mr. I'm so good at predictions. What's Jeter Mose going to do?
Well, Mose is kind of due for a good base hit here, didn't he? He had one in his last at-bat. You know, I would love to see something like that. A fly ball to center field is what I'm thinking.
That was pretty impressive. Charlie Marshall calling that off the bat. As Gage Carson now is set down 6 in a row, back-to-back 1, 2, 3 innings for the big righty. It's going to be 3-0 as we head to the top of the 6th. This game is flying by. Keep it here on the St. Joseph Mustangs broadcast. Welcome back to St. Joseph Mustang broadcast. Tyler Mundo alongside Charlie Marshall, and currently Florida State is beating Tennessee 9-4 in the College World Series, but no one cares about that. We got Major League action here at Phil Welch Stadium as the Mustangs are up 3-0 on the Nevada Griffins as we enter the top of the 6th. New arm out here for the Mustangs going to be Camden Lutz, the big righty. Charlie, what can you tell me about him?
Well, big he is. He's a big dude out there on the mound. He started 1 game so far this year. It was on the road. He's appeared in 4. He has 1 win. He racked up about 9 innings pitched. Giving up 10 hits, though, so the whip's a little high. But he is familiar with the strikeout. He has 9 of them. Lutz, a pretty solid right-handed pitcher out of this bullpen.
And the ball is lined And leading off is the leadoff man for the Griffins. Bryce Humphrey. He is 1 for 2 in the day with a single to left field.
One thing about summer ball that's different from school ball is you're going to see guys filter between the rotation and the bullpen more often and more frequently. Obviously, in college, guys get bounced back and forth between the starting rotation and being a reliever. But in summer ball, when it's more about getting innings, you're going to have guys like, Pitts, who was a reliever all year up to this point, then randomly makes a start, and he's at 5 scoreless, but he's still getting pulled because we have guys like Camden Lutz and other guys at that pen who simply have to get their innings in.
Yeah, it's pretty rare for a guy to have a CG in summer ball. Is taking a pitch is Bryce Humphrey, drawing the count to 3-2. Interestingly enough, Camden Lutz had 12 appearances at North Central Missouri College, but started 6 of them as he strikes out Bryce Humphrey looking.
Yeah, Humphrey knew that one was right there. Mad at himself for not offering at it. Looks like Humphrey gave up his bat on his walk back in. Kind of an interesting thing to do with these wood bats. I feel like it's pretty rare. I don't know about you, but sharing a metal bat, I obviously don't care. But a wood bat, it's almost like you're giving a piece of yourself away here. It could be broken.
Piece of yourself away and $150. That's what I'm more worried about. Stepping in now is Diego Flores, the shortstop from Cal State LA. Final stat line for Sam Pitts, a good one. He went 5 innings, 3 hits, 1 walk, and no earned runs. Only had 1 K, though.
Yeah, I was going to say.
And that ball is lined past Mose, and it's going to be a 1-out single for Diego Flores.
One of the few well-hit balls we've seen today from the Griffins. Flores not trying to do too much, just looking for some inside he can pull, and that's what he got.
A very, very nice pitcher's duel today, and game's been moving along like crazy. About just over the hour mark, and we're already in the 6th inning. This ball skied by Luke Robinson, the center fielder, and no trouble is Carson Schrack. So there's a runner on first. Quickly, 2 outs here for the Griffins, trying to get off the schneid. They've been shut out for 5 straight innings.
Yeah, they're shut out tonight, but, last night was the complete opposite for them as they faced the Jefferson City Renegades, and they won 14-13. So they were able to find ways to score last night. Tonight, the Mustangs pitcher's just a little too much for them.
And you sure this was the baseball team?
Yes. 14-13, more of a traditional football score, but...
As that's popped up, calling for it is Mose. And a very efficient inning for Camden Lutz as he throws less than 12 pitches and gets out of there. So it's going to be 3-0 as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Keep it here at Phil Walsh Stadium. Todd Bruno and Charlie Marshall welcome you back to Phil Welch Stadium as during the break, Jordan Stuckey almost getting hit with a dice for our dice roll. We got a winner last night, but tonight we did not. Jordan Black stepping in to face Gage Carson, who's entering a 6th inning of work. And after a rough start to his outing, has had back-to-back 3-up, 3-down innings.
Yeah, Carson's really settled in nicely out there for his last 6 batters. And after a quick inning of work from Camden Lutz, it'll be interesting to see if Carson just continues to groove.
Yeah, really a pretty boring last 3 innings. And if you're a fan of offenses, there have been 4 out of the 5 have been perfect innings.
Well, students of the game like us, we're just really eating this stuff up.
Oh, for sure. For sure. I mean, I could ask you the obvious question. What would you rather have more? A game like the Jefferson City Renegades and the Nevada Griffins where it was 14-13, or would you rather have a low-scoring game like this?
I would rather have 14-13. Okay.
I think 3-0 is tough. If it was a 0-0 ball game going to the 9th, I think I'd much rather have that. But like a 3-0 ball game to me, when you have one team scoring a bit and then nothing happens, that's where you can call it a pretty boring game. But if you have like pitchers throwing zeros left and right, and you got a tie ball game at 0-0 head at the top of the 9th, that is something I'd watch rather than a fireworks show.
Really?
Speaking of fireworks show, there's one tomorrow, Phil Welch Stadium. Jordan Black grounds one just foul. His count is now full.
Speaking of a fireworks show, Jordan Black, firework right here, incoming. He's due for
Charlie
one.
Marshall, betting on the Johnson County Community College product, who had 10 home runs last season, and is headed to Wichita. Charlie, I'm going to go nuts if he goes yard right now. Is that pitch is taken on the outside part of the plate, and Charlie Marshall is indeed wrong. I was ready to come out of my shoes right there, but a leadoff walk to Jordan Black is going to bring him the designated hitter, Jaden Little.
I mean, the rate home runs are hit at this stadium. The predicting of a home run is so unlikely, but man, one of these days we're going to get it.
I still remember when I predicted Kyle Hepburn, and the next pitch he was plunked. Last at bat, Jaden Little hit a line shot off of Gage Carson.
I still recognize Little every time he steps into the box because of that bat.
That red bat?
Yeah. A Mustangs-themed bat.
I like it. He's honestly got the whole red and black fit this Mustangs fit. Very, what would you say, Cincinnati Reds-like?
Nah, very St. Joe Mustang-like.
Ah.
Wonder what he's going to do tomorrow.
About to say, I was literally thinking the same thing.
When the Tenderloins come in town.
And Tenderloins sit at first in the Mink League with their 1-0 record. As there goes Little. That throw's going to be a little too late.
I mean, these plays today are just closer than they usually are, it feels like. I don't know about you, Tyler, but every play is pretty close. It just feels like if Stuckey could get a little bit more on his throws, they might have some of these Mustang runners.
So, correction, it's Little at the plate, Jordan Black, so my pun didn't work. As Little takes a big hack.
I like that swing from Jane Little. 2-1. It's a perfect time to just kind of unload on one. You're up 3-0. You got a guy in scoring position. Try and put one in the gap.
2-2 here to Little is taken high. Jaden Little from State Fair Community College, as he is headed into his junior year. And he had over 1,000 OPS last season with 7 bombs.
Little, you said he's going back to State Fair?
I don't think he can if he's a junior.
Yeah, okay. That's why I was confused. Maybe he is COVID year?
Potentially, but still, maybe he's at junior academically and a sophomore, or just finished the sophomore year, because you can't be a junior in JUCO.
Feels like a question for Jaden Little.
That ball's lined but caught by Diego Flores. Just caught that off the end of the bat.
Yeah, that one hit pretty hard. Not Little's hardest hit ball, as like you said, just kind of in-capped it. And with a wood bat, those are typically the ones that break your bat the most. A lot of people think it's the ones that get in on the hands, but those ones off the end of the bat, if you're out in front, they can – you could be looking at a brand-new bat in your next at-bat.
And it cuts it the long way when it's off the end of the bat. That ball looked like to be off Dom Felix's foot, and it was. He's shaking up a bit.
Yeah,
when you hit it off, catch it at the end of the bat, it cuts the long way, and you get kind of those hard, like, shards. If you catch it off the handle hard enough, that's where it splits in two.
That's just a splinter, just like destroyed. Those are the ones where the bat goes farther than the ball.
Yes. Have you ever broken a bat, Charlie?
I broke 2 wood bats in one game before.
Actually?
Yeah, and for a major leaguer or people watching home, that might not seem crazy, but my parents were not happy with me. I'll just say that.
I actually have a funny broken bat wood story. I've only broken... So, as a hitter, I've never broken a wood bat.
Okay. Really?
I have not, because I only catch barrels.
Okay,
but
my bad.
As a pitcher, we were doing live at bats with wood bats, and someone asked to borrow my wood bat. And as a pitcher, I broke my own wood bat. I don't know how to feel about that one. 0-2 count here to Dom Felix is taken down and away. So, yes, I did break my own bat. Just I was not the one. Actually, I guess I was the one doing the breaking because I was pitching. One-two count here to Dom Felix is in the dirt, and not being able to block it is Jordan Stuckey. So Jordan Black moving up 90 feet. Dom Felix with a good RBI chance. As mentioned, also Star Wars night tomorrow. Can't do it on May 4th because Mustang season doesn't start. As there's a drive into left field by Felix, going back and missing the play is Bryce Humphrey. And Dom Felix delivers an RBI double to left.
Yeah, Dom almost got all that one. That thing was hit loud and hit hard off that wood bat. All the way to the warning track. Almost a spectacular play out there in left field. Would have been a crazy play by Humphrey.
Now, I don't want to knock on him too much, but you said that would have been a crazy play. I thought that was a unnecessary play and made it a lot harder than it should have been.
I mean, it would have been an over-the-shoulder grab, right? It
would have been over-the-shoulder grab, but you don't ever have to be put in that situation as an outfielder. He kind of went to the left on that ball and all of a sudden was caught under it instead of taking a much deeper route and cutting over, almost catching on the post route like a wide receiver.
It's a fair way to look. I think Humphrey off the bat might have thought it was, out of here, or at least it's one of those where when you turn your back and run as an outfielder, those balls that are hit that far over your head, it can be tough to get a perfect route because you're just worried about getting there in general. You know that thing is hit quite a ways over your head. So he's just booking it out there to the wall, obviously trying to take the best route. But it's a little tougher than a play where you're coming in on it or to your side where you're able to think about the perfect way to the ball.
Well, yeah, obviously, anytime you're going back, it's hard for you to have your body facing, and that's why you turn your head. There's a line drive behind the runner at second, so Carson Schmidt going to ground out to the shortstop Flores. Moving up 90 feet is Dom Felix for the 9-hitter Frank Gall.
Gall's one of those Mustangs that I kind of wonder why he hasn't been in the lineup a little more. He plays more on the road than he does at home for some odd reason. I don't know if there's any reason for that, but Gall's he's a good player. This is his second year for the Mustangs, so he's not new here.
Showing it right there as that is going to be a RBI single for Frank Gall, and the Mustangs lead extends to 5.
Yeah, Gall 1 for 3 on the night, but he's hitting almost 500 on the year.
Seriously? Wow.
Yeah, he's
I had no clue.
460. And it's not a small sample size. I mean, he's 10 for 22. 13 runs scored, 9 RBIs, 10 stolen bases. He leads the Mustangs in stolen bases.
As you look like he was getting the other one there, but Freeman pops that one up.
Yeah, Freeman.
Flores calling for it and making the play.
I guess felt a little threatened. Decided to swing, not let Gall pick up another bag on him as Freeman only sits with 8.
Maybe it was selfish play from Freeman. Probably not, but whatever it is, it's 2 runs for the Mustangs. The bottom of the 6. Go to the top of the 7. 5-0. As Sam Pitts and Camden Lutz shutting out the Nevada Griffins. New pitcher to tell you about, and you'll hear all about him when we come back. Keep it here, the St. Joseph Mustangs broadcast. Welcome back to the friendly confines of Phil Welch Stadium. Tyler Mundo alongside Charlie Marshall and Jace Johnson taking the mound for the Mustangs. Pitched a lot at the beginning of the year at home, but we haven't seen him in the past couple games. But Jace Johnson with a very good year for the Mustangs so far. Tell me more about it, Charlie.
Johnson on the year, 8 2/3 innings pitched, and he's going to throw out of that submarine slot like we've seen all year long. It's a very effective arm slot, relies a lot on the slider. That's a piece of firewood for Jace Johnson.
Oh, and not making the play is Carson Schmidt. It goes off his glove as Cooper Molnaric, we'll see what the scorebook gives him, is going to be on first base after megging Jace Johnson.
Finish up on Johnson. He's made 3 appearances, has 2 wins in just 3 appearances, 13 strikeouts, 13.5 K per 9, and his whip is half. If you're not familiar with whip, it's just walks and hits per inning, so it just kind of means.
Feels ground to black at third. Schmidt over to Mose. So making up for it quickly is Carson Schmidt and Jace Johnson. 2 pitches and 2 outs.
Yeah, great turn there. And I mentioned already, I think this is one of the better infields the Mustangs can put out there. And it's shown right there. Black to Schmidt. A quick transition right to Mose. It's a good play from this Mustangs infield.
Mustangs pitching staff continuing to have a day.
That's also what submarine throwers are typically known for, that ground ball. A lot of them throw kind of sinkers, and it produces a lot of ground balls like we just saw there.
So that breaking ball is taken, drawing the count to 1-1 on Jordan Stuckey. But
like
yeah, when you have a fastball coming in from that submarine slot, it's going to have topspin, which is very unusual and almost softball-like because their fastballs drop.
Like I was saying before the double play, Johnson having a whip of .46, which is the lowest on this Mustangs team, is so impressive because it's walks and hits per inning, so it's a lot, meaning how many base runners get on per inning. And average whip, anything really under 1.2 or 1.3 is pretty good. And for Johnson to keep it at a half, that's a crazy stat.
Yeah, and his sample size is getting up there too. But he had a great year at Scottsdale Community College. He had 51 saves, 51 saves when ridiculous. 51 Ks in 51 innings and a 2.63 ERA to show for it. He only had 4 saves, so a little bit shy of the 51 mark, but nonetheless, a good year for him in college and a good year for him in the Mink League so far. 3-2 count here on Jordan Stuckey, the catcher for the Griffins. As that ball's popped up and not giving much of an effort and going right on top of us. Is that foul ball? That ball might be right behind us. I'm going to drop right behind the studio.
We'll have to open the door in between innings, take a look.
Our first souvenir of the year. Jace Johnson, the 3-2 to Stuckey again. That ball's grounded to Mose, but a couple steps foul.
Wow, Mose unable to make the play. Unbelievable.
Yeah, you want to. Tyler, known for his fan analysis, you want to analyze that one?
I'm just going to leave it as a foul ball.
Charlie Marshall, it was a foul ball. Should hire you, MLB. Another 3-2 count home to Stuckey. Is taken.
Punch him.
And as Charlie Marshall would say, that would be strike 3. Some great analysis right there.
Okay.
As Jace Johnson with a 1, well, not a traditional, but strikes out or gets the Griffins out on the side. 7-inning stretch time here at Phil Welch. Keep it here. We'll be back.
Thank you.
Be sure.
Beachlord.
Tyler's stuttering after he makes fun of Charlie.
Huh?
Oh, it's probably Sam Pitts. I give it to Sam Pitts.
Did he give us that?
It's a Cade Be Sure. Welcome back to Phil Welch Stadium. Mustangs currently have a 5-0 lead over the Nevada Griffins. New pitcher to tell you about, Cade Bashore from Evangel University, the redshirt freshman. Tell me more, Charlie.
Well, he hasn't pitched much. He didn't pitch much his freshman year of college, and he hasn't.
That ball's grounded to the shortstop. Going to his right is Flores and making a strong throw to get the speedy McCullum.
Great play.
Great play over there at short.
Bashore, this is going to be his third inning of work if he's able to get out of it. He's given up a run, but yeah, only 2 innings pitched on the year, so kind of hard to tell exactly what he's going to be looking like on the mound.
In step now is Carson Schrack, the shortstop, as he fouls one off. Final line score for Gage Carson. He went 6 innings, giving up 5 runs, only 4 earned, 8 hits, and only 1 strikeout. So him and Pitts, both with 1 strikeout apiece.
Yeah, a lot of balls put in play today. That's why it's been a quicker game. You know, we're only at about the hour 45 mark. We haven't seen a lot of long at-bats.
Also, only 1 walk apiece for both starters as well. So that ball from Schrack is grounded to Maples at second. And quickly there are 2 down in the bottom of the 7th.
The freshman looks good out there. Typically when a pitcher comes in with only 2 innings pitched, I mean, there's usually reasons why they don't pitch as much as others, but Bajor is attacking the zone, and he's getting weak contact from these Mustangs hitters.
Maybe it's the opposite. A guy who just hasn't pitched much, has nothing to lose, and he goes out there. That ball, taking a look over there, is Hayes, but that's going to get out of play. Yeah, maybe he just has no pressure. He's just going out there throwing free and easy.
Yeah, it's a good way to look at it.
Mose 1 for 3 on the day, had a single back in the first, and then flied out to left in the third and fly to center in the 5th.
It's like looking at something like half full or half empty kind of thing. In terms of the mindset when you come in to a game after not playing a lot. You can be happy that you're in and, you know, just play loose because you haven't played a lot already. So even if you play bad, it can't get too much worse. Or it can be, you know, all right, I haven't played a lot. I got to do good here, so I play more. It's just like, it's all mindset.
It's a kind of a quick pitch there from Bashore. It doesn't really phase Mose. It's going to be a full count here to the Mustangs cleanup hitter. As he's going to get rung up on strike 3 after another quick pitch. Mose complaining he wasn't looking at the pitcher. So that's something that happened in the MLB where you have to get confirmation the batter's actually looking and ready.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for Mose, as he obviously was never even loaded for a swing there. He wasn't aware the pitch is coming, although he is in the batter's box, so there's an argument for both sides. But, yeah, typically eye contact is required from both the pitcher and the batter.
Yeah, making very quick work, not only with 3 batters, but with how fast he got back in the mound. Cade Bashore throws a 1-2-3 inning in the bottom of the 7th, top of the 8th. Might be taco time here at Phil Welch Stadium. As Maple had a bunt single back in the 3rd, was squaring away again. Has not struck out yet, but is quickly down the count. 0-1 to Jace Johnson. He's not going to strike out here, but in comes McCullum and makes the play.
Yeah, that was some of the more rowdy we've heard these Mustangs fans all year in terms of wanting a taco strikeout. Fortunately for them, they're going to have to pay when they go to Taco Bell, it's looking like.
So far, they have a 2-9 shot of getting a taco with who they pick, because there's only been 2 strikeouts here today for the Griffins. Only 3 strikeouts in the game total. No, strike that. 4 strikeouts because of Mose's last inning.
Can you math that for me right now?
Yeah, that is 2 strikeouts for the Griffins and 2 strikeouts for the Mustangs. So
I was looking for the percentage. 2 for 9.
That's about 22%, Charlie.
Okay, I like that. Making sure you're staying hot.
That's Rally saying hi to the camera. That's the mascot. This ball ground out to Schrack at short. And a bit of a high throw, but no problem over there for Mose. I feel like I've said this a lot. It's quickly 2 up, 2 down for the Griffins.
Yeah, we've had games this year that have been up into the 3-hour mark. This one, we're not even at the hour 50 mark yet.
Maybe Sam Pitts had a hot date or something. He was working quick, trying to get out of here early.
The entire pitching staff for the Mustangs has been working quick.
Maybe it's speed dating. 1-0 count here to the leadoff man, Bryce Humphrey. He has one of the Griffins' 5 hits, as he's ahead in the count now, 2-0. He had a single to left field back in the 3rd inning, struck out last inning. In the 6th.
Every single pitcher that's came in so far today has had a K per nine of at least 9. For the Mustangs, I should say. So it's kind of interesting how there's been such little strikeouts. You know, props to these hitters for the Griffins. Kind of just stand locked in enough to put the ball in play.
Well, yeah, we want to talk about the glass full, glass half empty. When they have put the ball in play, it hasn't been hit particularly hard. Well, there's another strikeout. The second for Jace Johnson, as he's looking like a strikeout king today compared to everyone else. So 2 good innings of work for the sidearm righty. As we get to the bottom of the 8th, Mustangs still lead 5-0. Keep it here on the St. Joseph Mustangs broadcast. Welcome back to Phil Welch Stadium, where the St. Joseph Mustangs hold a 5-0 lead over the Nevada Griffins. Leading off is Jordan Black. Before we get to him, the standings in the Mink League. Charlie, tell us about how it's looking so far.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about the game today. Two teams at the top and bottom, complete opposite ends. Mustangs coming 12-2, but only 11-2 in conference play. The Griffins 3-9. So, I mean, it's interesting to see this game. It's been somewhat close. Some of them might have expected a blowout. Tomorrow, the Mustangs take on the Bombers, who is in third place. So tomorrow's game, you're looking at, should be one of the better ones we've seen so far.
So counter to Jordan Black. It's taken high. So 3-0. There is a new pitcher out there for the Griffins, and he's not on the roster as of right now, so we're trying to get you that when we can. That spells the end of the day for the right-hander Bashore.
He looked good.
He looked very good. 1-2-3 inning for him. So, I mean, his final stat line was 1 innings pitched, 0 hits, 0 runs, 1 K. Also, defensive change. Now playing first base instead of Rhett Hayes is going to be Joshua Perez. This brings up the DH, Jaden Little. He had the line single back up the middle off the pitcher in the third inning. And his last at bat in the sixth, lined out to the shortstop. First pitch taken over there for Little. A 1 delivery is off the glove of Stuckey back there. And moving up 90 feet to second base is Jordan Black.
Yeah, in a game like this, you kind of forget how bad leadoff walks can be. There wasn't many walks in general, but you never want a leadoff walk. There's a leadoff walk, and then you skip one pitch in there, and now the Mustangs have a runner in scoring position, and the Griffins got to work out of this. They're already down 5. You really can't afford to give up anything else right here.
Pretty simple, and why you could argue for both teams been very successful, and why the game has been so quick is there have been 3 free passes in total. It's pretty rare, at least this season so far.
I mean, we've seen innings with more than 3 free passes.
No hit by pitches either. And there's 3 errors for Nevada, so that it plays a role into why this game is 5-0. But so far defensively, the Mustangs have looked fantastic.
They look sharp.
Wow. As he has matched the total. 2 walks here for number 39 on the mound. He has half the walks in this game.
If you're curious, that's now 9 pitches in 8 balls.
With a runner on first and second, taking a ball is Dom Felix. Catch for the Mustangs is 2 for 3 on the day with an RBI. Remember, in his last at bat, he hit that fly ball to the track and had a stand-up double. Here's the 1-1 count to Felix. This ball is flied out to right field. Should be no problem with it for Cy Steele. As the runner on second base, Jordan Black, is going to move up 90 feet. So it'll be runners at the corners and 1 out for Carson Schmidt. Now we can tell you who the pitcher for Nevada is. It's going to be Dalton Woods, number 39. Schmidt 1 for 3 on the day with a single back in the second. It's a bunt single at that. As there goes Little, and going on to the defensive indifference is the Mustangs DH. So it'll be second and third now for Carson Schmidt. One count here to Little. Woods really struggling with command so far.
Yeah, he has not been able to locate any of his pitches right now. He's struggling, especially with that fastball.
Not a power fastball. That's going to get a small piece of Carson Schmidt. So after one free pass this entire day for the Griffins, there have been 2 walks and a hit by pitch now from Dalton Woods. The Mustangs have it loaded with 1 out.
And Frank Gall steps in, who's as hot as anyone in this lineup. So not the hitter that the Griffins want to be facing right here with the bases loaded and just 1 out.
Yeah, they are trailing 5, and although a 5-run deficit is possible to come back, if you extend that now to 7-8, things look really bleak for this Griffins team.
I mean, to be fair, it's been bleak all night, if we're being real. They really haven't showed many signs of life out here today.
So Dalton Woods still out there. He's going to face Frank Gall. RBI single his last at bat. As he takes a pitch way off the outside part of the plate.
They've pitched well enough to just hang in here and keep it a ball game, but offensively they have not been there, and now it looks like they're losing it a little on the mound.
Big swing and fouls that one back is Frank Gall. The Maple Woods Community College product hit .392 with 36 stolen bases, while also starting 11 games.
Yeah, a two-way.
5'11", 170 pounds. The lefty takes a pitch high. For the first time, the Mustangs had a lot of traffic on the bases. As Gall drives one out to right field. And it's going to go foul.
Yeah, foul and about 10 feet short
okay,
of that
you
wall.
have to mention, I didn't see that in the broadcast. Could just said it was foul and didn't have to embarrass Tyler, but it's fine. It's fine. 2-2 county to Frank Gall. That ball is lined to short.
Gall needs to run.
It's going to be a double play as Woods is going to get out of there. A 6-4-3 double play. That's Flores to Maple to the newly entered Perez. And the Mustangs leave on 3. Head to the top of the 9th now. Mustangs have to hang on to a 5-0 lead. Jace Johnson going back out there. Welcome back to the friendly confines of Phil Welch Stadium. It's been a quick one here today. It's 5-0 Mustangs head to the top of the 9th. Jace Johnson going in for his 3rd inning of work. And waving and missing at that is Diego Flores. Flores takes a pitch just down. So while most of the time a save comes in the 9th inning, with a lead of 3 or less, Jace Johnson is eligible for the save now that he's in his 3rd inning of work. once you throw 3 innings, it doesn't matter what the score is, as long as you came in with your team leading. I mean, it could be a 25-0 game, but if you throw the last 3 innings and get the last out, that's your save. Interesting rule in baseball.
Well, it is. Another way to get a save is if you come in and the tying run, you're down maybe, let's say, you're at 4 runs, but the bases are loaded, and so the tying run is up to bat. And so that also is a way to get a save while being up more than 3 runs.
I actually didn't know that. So thank you, Charlie, for that.
I didn't know your fact either. Wow, just pass along information to each
other.
other.
There you go. Learn something new every day. 3-2 pitch to Diego Flores, and a rare walk for the Mustangs today. It's only the second one issued by their pitching staff. So leadoff walk here, Diego Flores brings up the center fielder Luke Robinson, and much like the rest of his counterparts, he is hitless today.
Second walk for the Mustangs tonight. Second walk for Jace Johnson on the year. And keep in mind, he's in his 10th inning of work right now.
Mose not holding on Flores at first. He's not going anywhere. 1-0 to Luke Robinson. Jace Johnson coming back in the zone there. It's going to be a 1-1 count. It was Pitts for 5 innings, Lutz for 1 inning, and Jace Johnson trying to get the 9-out save.
And that's a good slider from Johnson right there. And from someone who's faced Johnson in, a real game, I can attest to his slider being, very effective. It's tough to read out of the hand, and even when you read it right, it just kind of moves more than you think it's going to.
You know it's a good pitch when you can see how much it moves from the broadcast. It's a completely different ballgame when you're up there, but you could still see that movement from here. As that ball is fouled off again.
And another good pitch as that, again, was just not a very pretty swing.
Yeah, Robinson's staying alive, but does not look good doing it.
That's baseball, though, It doesn't matter. He can put a good swing on a ball right here, and all of a sudden that's all that anyone remembers. Ooh.
Well, he's not going to put any swing on that pitch.
Ooh.
As he was window shopping right there. Just looking for Luke Robinson. Cooper Rasmussen steps in. Yeah. He is also 0 for 3 on the day.
And that's surprising to me. I thought if there was one guy who was going to have a good game today for these Griffins, it was going to be Rasmussen. But it's baseball, man. Even the best players have some off days.
Yeah, really, to be fair, the only guy you could say had a good day for this Griffins team was Diego Flores. Well, the team has had 7 base runners. Diego Flores has been 3 of them. He had 2 singles and a walk.
Yeah, he's also been pretty solid over there at shortstop defensively for Nevada.
It's a team ball game, though, and although he's having a good game, they have no runs to show for it. Jace Johnson's 1-1 is going to be grounded over there to Mose, bobbling and feeding over and making was that a barehanded play? Making a barehanded play is Jace Johnson. So a weird 3-1 as Mose bobbled the ball. Johnson a little late and a little slow to get up, but whatever it is, it's going to be 2 outs here in the bottom of the 9th.
Well, it's good to see Johnson get up after a fall like that. And Felix doing the smart thing. Just got to go check on him, make sure his ankle's all right. He's kind of flirting with it a little bit, just, tweaking it around. But he looks like he's going to be okay. I mean, everyone has twisted an ankle, and it never really feels great. One of those injuries where you feel it more tomorrow than you do today.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. It's common here. It's common in basketball, too. So Jace Johnson trying to preserve the shutout here for the Mustangs. As the last guy may have to face would be Cooper Molinaric, the DH. He had an infield single his last at bat. As he's quickly up in the count, 2-0. How would you say an injury like that may affect your delivery on the mound?
Well, one, it depends on what foot you kind of hurt. If it's that front foot, which you're trying to plant on, I feel like with an ankle, it can definitely hurt. You're putting a lot of pressure on something you just kind of tweaked and rolled it. The back one still, you don't want to hurt either ankle because that's the foot you're pushing off. That's where you're getting all your power from.
As it's going to be a 4-pitch walk, so Jace Johnson with his 3rd walk of the season, but his 2nd of the inning. Getting a chance now is Joshua Perez, who came in for Rhett Hayes defensively last inning.
You know Perez is happy to see this AB. When you come in late in the game and you're sitting on deck with 2 outs, you're just praying you get a chance to get some swings in. Unfortunately for him, it's versus one of the better relievers in the entire league.
Joshua Perez went to Cal State Dominguez Hills. He's a redshirt freshman out of La Mirada, California. Charlie, where's La Mirada, California?
That's going to be located kind of off of Los Angeles.
I was pretty spot on, I must say.
Thank you.
In more of the Inland Empire and a little bit south of Los Angeles, but pretty good guess nonetheless. 1-2 count here to Perez. Just foul.
Just foul is the perfect way to describe that. He barely caught a piece of that one.
Mustangs, and I don't know about their away games, but this could be the fastest full 9 innings all season. So we're coming up on the 2-hour mark, maybe just a little bit over. 2-2 count, 2 on, 2 out for Joshua Perez.
If Johnson ends it right here, it's going to be about 2 hours and 10 minutes.
As it's going to be just that. Jace Johnson gets his 3rd strikeout of the day, and the Mustangs shut out the Nevada Griffins 5-0. What a win. And what a bounce-back win after dropping 2 to the Carroll Merchants. The Mustangs improved their record to 13-2 as the Griffins fall now to 3-10. Welcome to the Mustangs postgame show. Tyler Ramindo alongside Charlie Marshall. And we just witnessed a 5-0 shutout victory for the Mustangs as they're dropping 2 to the Carroll Merchants. Now, we'll go back to the obvious in a bit, but what else did you see from the Mustangs outside of their tremendous pitching effort today?
Well, to be straightforward, I saw the second shutout, home shutout of the year for this Mustangs team, the first game against the Baldwin City Blues. So the Mustangs, I mean, you said outside that pitching performance, but I mean, it was all pitching, really. The pitching just, it looked different tonight. It was exceptional. Sam Pitts, starting the game for his first start of the year, absolutely shoved it. Player of the game, I think me and Tyler were talking about, threw 5 innings, a single run, only 1 strikeout, but, really well. Jace Johnson had a relief, picking up the save. Pitching was just really, really good tonight.
And you take away that last inning, the Mustangs had 1 walk.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And, Jace Johnson walked a guy after that little collision at first base, but just a tremendous effort from the Mustangs pitching staff today. Hitting-wise, Dom Felix was the only guy of note that had more than 1 hit. I think everyone else had 1 hit, but just a good all-around performance. No one really struggled. No one really struck out either. No. So the Mustangs putting balls in play. So were the Griffins, to be fair, but the Mustangs finding a lot more holes as they led the hit total 9-5.
Yeah, the Mustangs kind of just one of those games where you just kind of do enough to get by. Kind of a tougher game that we've seen from them offensively, but they're still able to find, like you said, 9 hits, 5 runs, which is not a bad game at all. I always like to think if you can get 5 runs as an offense, you should win the game. As a pitching staff, your goal should be to hold them to that 4-run mark. And so 5 runs tonight, that's enough, and they really only needed 1 with how well they pitched, but the offense, they did enough tonight, and I don't think it's something they should be upset about. I think it was, a pretty all-around good game for this Mustang team.
No, they did pretty solid, and credit to their pitching staff, only walked, I think, 3 guys as well, and besides the last inning, I think only had 1, so yeah, really good pitching performance on both sides, just the Mustangs able to put together hits when it mattered. So 5-0 is your final here. Tomorrow at 7 o'clock, be back here against the Sedalia Bombers. Be a good one. That team is 3rd in the Mink League as the Mustangs are in 1st. I'm Tyler Mundo alongside Charlie Marshall.